Glenn, you're next on Live at Night.
Well, good evening. Good evening to you. It's Gwen. You're pretty close. It's Gwen with an M on the end there.
Okay, I made the same mistake when I was behind the control board the other night, so don't feel bad, Paul.
Well, no, I don't feel bad at all.
Can you spell it G?
G-W-E-M.
Okay.
With an M,
Gwem.
as in Michael.
I see. I've never heard of that name before.
Well, it's one of these things where you get changed about halfway through your life. You think you're not special enough in the eyes of God. You got to change it just a little bit. You got to get a little something different in there, so you got your own individuality. You know what I mean?
Now we have it on the screen exactly the way you told us.
Great. Well, hey, listen. One thing I think I'd like to discuss tonight is this impending war situation that we got going on in the Persian Gulf.
Okay.
And I don't know. I'd like to know what you think. What do you think God is in this plan, this big plan? Are we gonna kill a lot of people? Are we gonna feel like we've accomplished something? Is this gonna be some kind of a good situation for the American people in the eyes of God? Are we just gonna be betraying our own peaceful mission as Christians? It worries me. It's somewhat of a conundrum, if you'll pardon the expression.
Yes, I think when you think about peace, the absence of peace means probably war, and war is when two people argue. From a Christian point of view, we are to live at peace with all men, at least as far as that depends upon us. And I think in a situation like this is a case where it doesn't necessarily depend upon us. However, in an international context, I'm sure the principle still applies, and we're to seek to live at peace, but not peace at any price. If peace at any price means the loss of freedoms for people, then I think we've overstepped the mark if we allow that to go on.
Well, if the gold atoms had been as big as baseballs, the wall would have been about 400 feet thick,
That's
more than
it.
a whole city block thick. The atomic bullets just would have gone right through this kind of wall, and this is the kind of thing we're up against.
Yes, I missed that last comment, however. What did you say? What was as thick
Well,
as...
the gold atoms they're as big as baseballs in Iraq.
Oh, yes.
And the wall would have been 400 feet thick for us to penetrate, more than a whole city block thick.
Oh, yes.
And we have all these boys over there, and the atomic bullets just went right through this kind of wall in the past. Well, who's going to determine, who's going to let us go with the proper course?
I understand.
I don't know. I mean, something must be inside each shell, a small center, a hard core, which caused the rare ricochets. There's got to be something inside there. It's going to keep us prolonged, and the core must be unbelievably small, much smaller than the atom itself. I don't know. I'm personally, as a Christian, I'm just concerned.
Yes.
Very concerned.
Well, and I think you ought to be. War is good and right, and we just go ahead and do it.
I don't know. It seems utterly impossible to keep the two marbles apart.
I'm sure of it. At this point, at least it appears at this point that war is the inevitable thing, and yet God is able to intervene with creative thinking for those in leadership and come up with a solution that perhaps we didn't even think of.
Well, the same principle works in the case of two attracting particles that make up a hydrogen atom, but that doesn't stop them from anything that's unfortunate.
Right.
Well, listen, thanks a lot. Hey, thanks a lot.
I appreciate your call, Gwem.
All right,
Bye now.
Bye-bye, folks.
Good night.
Yes.